listening to The Review on the OSG Sports Podcasting Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second episode of the 2026-27 football season on The Review. It's the Online Sports Guys College Football Podcast featuring us, the Online Sports Guys. And guys, we are here for our second episode. In episode one, for those of you who didn't hear it, we talked a little bit about some things that happened off season. But now we want to kind of preview what's coming up, what you can expect, and kind of give a little insight on little things, like maybe can Indiana repeat? Who's going to stop them at this point? Is Texas back for the 143rd time?
Well, I'm back in Texas, so
there you go.
There's that.
There it is.
Is Georgia kind of falling into the Dabo Swinney trap?
Them's fighting words in that part of the country now.
I know. And we might as well start at the beginning. And let's kind of break this a little bit into clusters. I think it might be the best way to do it. Who do you guys think are going to be the 4 or 5 teams that we're going to be talking about come the beginning of next year in January playing in that playoff?
Well, knowing that probably one of the teams at the top of my list is going to be the one that that gentleman over there is going to want to be discussing for most of the season. I mean, that's going to be an easy.
State?
Yeah, them. TOSU, they're going to be one. I think, obviously, you're going to have a lot of folks in the B1G that are going to sit there and they're going to want elbow room. You're going to have an Oregon, I think, a part of the discussion. Obviously, Indiana, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And
exactly.
Then you're looking at a Georgia and a Texas. And, there are some folks that I'm going to try and bite my tongue about. LSU.
I don't know. I'm starting to look at Texas like they're Notre Dame.
Yeah.
People talk about them, but they haven't done anything.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame may be one of those teams this year, too. I don't know if anybody really can top C.J. Carr as a quarterback this season.
Yeah.
That would be my early pick as your Heisman Trophy guy.
Wow, he's already going into the Heisman Trophy stuff.
Ooh.
Yes, I am.
They're never too early Heisman odds.
Oh God.
It's all about preseason predictions.
Well, yeah, and then we sit there and we put this in a hermetically sealed envelope, and then we open it in mid-January or something. We sit there and go, okay, wrong. I feel like the old McLaughlin group.
Yeah, we never tamper with those envelopes either.
No.
Yeah, it was late December.
Yes, I believe we actually had. There he is.
There's the Mr. Fox.
Sly's parachuted in. He's looking. He's sitting there going, "Oh my God, what have I gotten myself into?" From parts unknown.
Holy cow! For Big Ten country.
Yeah, and they let you in at the border. It was like Joe Flaherty and Stripes. It's like they were speaking a foreign language, and you just kind of sat there and held a B1G banner, and they let you through, right?
Yeah, and they did spill their coffee all over themselves as well.
Nice.
All right, so Sly, first question on the floor. Who are you looking at? Give like your top 4 or 5 coming into the year.
Penn State, Oklahoma State, Indiana,
okay,
and Florida State.
Oh God, what are you doing?
Just to spite you.
Are you trying to announce or jinx them before the season ever starts?
I think he actually. He basically is giving me the Three Stooges 2-finger point, and he got there before I got to put my hand up and sit there and defend against it.
Children, today's word is facetious.
Yes.
Yes.
FUSHE.
Press on the first 2 letters. FU.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I think most websites call that the bold predictions column.
I would be questioning Sly's sobriety at this point, and we're taping early on a Sunday morning. So, well done for you to start the day drinking and putting my Alma in your top 4. That's good stuff.
He also might be trying to light up the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if that would do it. That definitely would do it.
Oh man.
Marty, what you got, man?
All them
Ohio
things
State.
are investments.
Ohio State, Indiana.
Yeah.
We'll throw in somebody from the SEC, even though they're overrated. It's no longer now that there's an even playing field. They've kind of dropped off a significant bit. So I'll give the nod to Georgia, and then trying to think who's going to get bounced.
Oh, have fun, LSU.
You know what? I'll piss people off. I'll go Oregon just to put 3 Ohio State ones in. Go full homer.
That's why we have
my funniest thing with Oregon though is I saw one of their people talk about how proud they are to not have sponsorship on their jerseys, even though like everything they do has a Nike plaster everywhere.
Yeah. Did they not see the Nike logo on the jerseys?
Or on all their buildings.
And everything inside the stadium?
Goodness gracious.
corporate branding for
I
500.
just they were doing NIL before it was cool.
Oh, absolutely they were.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now that I've settled in, were you asking me my top 4 teams of the year or top 4 teams I'm interested in just because of the situation?
Well, now that you've given the top 4 interest, go ahead and give your top 4.
I guess it's going to have to be Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, and somebody else.
There you go. I like
Whoever
that.
that is. Yeah.
I like SCU. You know, they're that independent in FBS that I'm looking for from the outside to work their way into the postseason grid. I like somebody else university. I like that.
I definitely agree with you when you brought up Oklahoma State, though. It's going to be interesting to see they transplanted half of North Texas roster up there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interested to see what that level of talent that did really well last year can do with more funding.
Yeah.
And more depth.
Man.
Yeah, a little bit better conference too. I don't know that I would put Oklahoma State in my top 5, but I think they're one of those. They're on that list of teams to watch this season.
Big 12's weak.
Oh yeah, no question about that.
They had a little bit of talent. They got injected with a lot more talent. That's already got some timing together on that offense. They could surprise.
Yeah,
they're not going to go far in the playoffs, but they could really do some damage in the Big 12.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see them sneak in, even coming off of what was it, 1-11 season last year.
Oh, I don't know if you can go from 1-11 to being bowl relevant. It's that one for me is a bit.
I think they definitely get bowl eligible. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, dude, you pretty much just have to have a pulse to get bowl eligible.
Yeah. I would just, give me a good, give me like the Texas Bowl for them or something like that. Just, something close, something in the Metroplex, something that they can hang on to.
That's the mistake that UNT would always do. They take the cheapest to travel to bowl instead of going to a bowl that'll give them better visibility and make the kids happy to go to it.
Yeah, that's true.
I understand wanting to let your fan base drive, but you also want to get a little bit more visibility and have something that the kids want to travel to.
Yeah.
If you live in Denton, it's not a big deal to travel to Dallas. So it's kind of a letdown as a player.
No. So you want something like when PJ Fleck was at Western Michigan and he was hip and trendy and it came down to see you in the Cotton Bowls, what you're looking for.
Yeah. Bahamas Bowl.
Oh.
Of course, now that's in Frisco, I think, for another year.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I need to throw my top 5 out there. I'm going to go with a little bit of a curveball here. I like, in no particular order, I think Indiana ends up in the top 5 again. I don't know that they run the table like they did last year, but I think they're going to still be very good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ohio State, of course, because they're a factory, another team that I don't think is going to win the championship, but they'll be in competition for it. I like Notre Dame. They are loaded. And as I said earlier, CJ Carr, I think, is probably, at least before the season starts, the best quarterback in college football. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll get them over the hump. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but at least it'll make most of our good friend Mark Harmon's day.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And then this pains me to say, but I'm going to say Texas because Arch, I think, is going to get better in year 3.
No, look. I'm going to say this, and I think Sly might get this reference. I think that Arch is dangerously getting into Ron Paulus territory.
I don't know about that.
I mean, look, Bino Cook said that Paulus was going to be the first 4-time ever Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
God bless his soul. Bino, but we have seen him stagger, and I don't mean this literally. It's stutters and starts and stops. And yes, you're getting that much more experience. Yes, you're getting another season of doing all these kinds of things. But Sly, it's just I wonder when that switch is going to get flipped when it comes to somebody like an Arch Manning.
Yeah, it's like everything is based on his name and not so much on his production so far.
Yeah. The guy was pretty good in the second half of last season.
I'm going to go and find the schedule. I'm going to refute this, but go ahead. Sly, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I was going to point to the schedule also because much like last year, I mean they were lucky to win a couple games against lesser teams, and you never know in the SEC when you're going to have that strange week where you just drop one that puts you way down the list.
Well, that happened to them last year. They lost to Florida.
That's the one that's the one that killed them. And they almost, they barely survived Kentucky and a couple others, but before righting the ship. But we don't know if he's good enough yet to go week to week enough to put them in real contention to win the whole thing.
Yeah, last year after losing to Florida, then you had Red River. He throws for 166, and they win by 17. Sly, you mentioned the overtime win in Lexington. He threw for 132. Then the following week, they go to Klanga, Stark Vegas. He throws for 346, and they win in overtime there. They go against Vanderbilt, who was number 9 in the country, and they win by 3 at DKR. Then they get blown out at Georgia. Then they, play the over against Arkansas and score 52. And Arkansas's defense, as they say in college hockey, sieve. And then you go up against number 3 Texas A&M, and you only win by 10. And Manning throws for 179 before you go into the Citrus Bowl. So, I mean, it's a like in Old American Bandstand terms, it's like a 75 that you can't dance to right now.
Yeah, one thing you need to take into consideration here.
No,
this year he's going to be throwing to Cam Coleman.
Don't remind me. Thank you.
Yes, he was arguably the best wide receiver in college football last season.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's going to make any quarterback look a little bit better in pretty much any season.
Mm.
And one team I'm leaving out of this list because I don't know that they're going to be there is the Georgia Bulldogs.
I think they are.
You're talking about a team that lacked explosive plays last year and lost the guys who were even capable of making them last season. Yeah. The defense is going to be stout. Mm-hmm. They've got some experience and some guys coming. Most of that defense is coming back this year.
They always have team speed, as the police blotter can tell you.
Wow, he breaks out the Fulmer Cup. All right, so here's Georgia, Tennessee State, Western Kentucky.
I'm getting chewed out right now by my wife for not even mentioning Lane Kiffin and LSU.
I did, but I try not to mention those 2 words together or those 3 just on premise because then things may just spontaneously combust.
Yes.
At Arkansas, Oklahoma in Athens, Vandy in Athens, in Tuscaloosa, Auburn's in Athens, Florida is neutral location, at Ole Miss, Missouri, at South Carolina, and then Georgia Tech. So that's
the Florida game. Yeah, the Florida game's in Atlanta.
That's what we refer to as a manageable schedule.
But can you win if you can't score?
Well, if your defense holds the other folks to the same number of points, you got a puncher's chance. And I think that look, much like shingles, as we always say, Kirby doesn't care. And at the end of the day, if you win 13-10, what happened? You won.
Yeah, but it also doesn't get you in the top 5.
When style
Doesn't matter. Get you in the playoffs. All you got to do is win.
Yes, that's it. You get in the playoff and then you make your noise. Doesn't matter, because until things are home site round 1 and round 2 and beyond, you just navigate and get in. Biggest thing in this format is the way it currently is: get in, then make your noise.
It didn't say they weren't going to make the playoff. Just said I don't have them in my top 5.
I've got them top 5. I just can't. I can't. Yeah, nope, not happening.
This early, who do you think?
Yeah,
there's no telling who's going to jump up and who's going to be like Indiana was last year.
True.
That is correct.
Yes.
I mean, I like Oregon. I think Dante Moore's a good quarterback. I think he needs a little bit of help on the supporting cast. Oregon has trouble when it comes to playing big games. Under Dan Lanning, they're 5-7 against top 10 teams.
Yikes, Shaggy. Sorry, zoink.
Yeah. Yoinks, Scoob.
Zoinks.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't have them in my top 5.
Uh-huh.
And there are going to be some other teams hovering around that list.
Mm-hmm.
LSU, because they have Sam Levitt.
You're just saying that now because the boss is in the room. I know how this works.
Sam Levitt at quarterback will help them. I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Lane Kiffin on the sideline will not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, those press conferences in the midweek.
I like LSU, but they just keep hiring the douchiest coaches.
Yeah, because they don't really seem to care what anybody else
I mean,
thinks.
Ogeron was entertaining, but
Yeah.
everything after that's just been they've all been bad coaches, but like they're just terrible people after Ogeron.
Yeah.
The word for today.
Oof.
The word for today is douchiest.
College football coach is a nice person.
Mark
Oh.
Rick.
Michelle just said, what college football person is a nice person? There are quite a few of them.
Yeah.
College football coach.
There are quite a few of them.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get her webcam. She's piping up.
I mean, look, she'll talk your fun belt off, as that's what Cher's up to.
Yes. And I know this makes John cringe. I think Miami's going to be hovering around that top 10 number. Darian Mensah's a good quarterback as well.
Look,
I don't know that he's the guy to put them over the top. I don't think he's quite Cam Ward or even Carson Beck, but you never know.
all right, here you go. I'm gonna
John's teeing up.
Yeah. Well, Phil did the damn thing, so here we go.
3, 2, 1.
I could give a flying what about the University of Coral Gables. We all know this. So for those that are watching / listening for the first time.
And Marty, it's my job to tee him up, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If I hadn't done that for 25
I
years.
should have started the timer underneath John.
Exactly. So being an alum of Florida State University in Tallahassee, Florida, I have my own set of frustrations. One of those is the University of South Georgia Gainesville campus, and the other is the University of Coral Gables. Anything that involves wearing the color orange, I get an allergic reaction. I have always maintained, and this goes back at least 3 seasons, that the current coach that we have should not be the current coach that we have now and should have not been hired in the first place and should have been let go. But the buyout was so astronomically large, and still is, that we are saddled with this, in addition to the expansion and the renovation of our football stadium, which has put us in a massive amount of debt, roughly 9 figures to the left of the decimal place, which means we really can't do a whole lot when it comes to hirings and firings, because that's more money that we would be ultimately responsible for and not be able to actually, pay bills in a timely fashion.
State.
Yeah.
How did we end up on Florida State? We were talking about Miami.
You were because you were saying that, to my chagrin, that Miami was being what they were, and Sly initially mentioned as one of the teams that he wanted to watch this year was Florida State University.
Oh, they're going to be 6.
So look, if we're 6-6, huzzahs and hoorays at this point. But no, any conversation involving those other 2 schools that wear orange in the state of Florida, usually will get my rancor and my ire up very, very quickly, and the ire is usually turned inward. I'm to the point now with those two institutions and their coaches that, look, we're far more messed up than they are. So their successes do not surprise me, and our failure / mediocrity does not surprise me there. So that's why I am as heated as I traditionally am when it comes to our school. There you go. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, I mean,
John's gonna
since,
go break something as soon as we're done recording.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, since the early 80s, if Miami has their ducks in a row, they should be good no matter what.
Mhm.
And if they're not on probation. So this is the perception.
Bad in the 2000s.
That's when Uncle Nevin was not involved.
Yeah. I mean, from like, what was it, like 2000 to 2020, they were pretty not so good.
Yeah, and that was when we were like Belushi in the Saturday Night Live sketch and dancing on graves in the wintertime. But now it's like, look, we're in no place to talk. And so, if any alum wants to sit there and run smack on those other two orange-wearing schools in the state of Florida, we're in no position to run any kind of smack. The only smack we should run is inward. That's it. It's not hard. So their successes, good on them. Our
Basically, we can write off the state for the playoffs.
Basically,
the entire state.
The entire state, yes. Thank you very much. Except for maybe UCF or somebody obscure. Give me West Florida and our friend Caleb Nobles. Give me that in their first season in Division I.
Noble pick. Well done there, sir.
Yeah, I think Miami is I think that's your ACC champion there. I don't know that.
I'm not listening to you. La.
Name somebody that could stop them in the ACC this season.
Themselves.
Yeah. That goes for just about anybody.
ACC is pretty much the winner's going to be who implodes the least.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it Miami or is it Clemson?
Well, Notre Dame will claim an ACC championship. Just wait.
They can't.
Well, if people keep pulling them off their schedule, they might have to join full up.
If they end up joining, I still think they end up in the Big Ten, but that's a separate conversation for a different day.
I think they've pissed off the Big Ten too much.
And you don't think that they would take that money?
Oh, but would the B1G want to give it up? Would they want to give up?
They've got money.
One of the rules of college football in the 2020s, however much money you have, it's never enough.
Oh, no, of course not. Absolutely not.
But after years of Notre Dame pulling Notre Dame things, the value of telling them to shove it and take somebody else who they'll also get money from, because they're already getting the most from TV anyway.
They would never, if Notre Dame said, we'd like to join you, they would never say no.
Oh, of course not. But they're not going
to. I would love to see the FU, just because I'm so sick of the Notre Dame people. And I've got friends that are alumni from there, but the way they've jerked the Big Ten around with joining and not joining and all that, I'd love to see him wither on the vine.
Yeah, what we'd like to see happen and what would happen are two different things.
Here and here. That's why this traditionally works.
Don't underestimate the power of being petty, though.
No. All right. So my question to the floor: give me a team outside of the ones that we know that are going to be in the playoff. Who's the outsider that comes in? Who's the one that comes out of lane 8 that is this year's Indiana? Sly, I've given you the sum total of 10 seconds to think about it. Who's it going to be?
I would say USC if their center hadn't gone down already for the year.
I know.
I can't really think of one off the top.
I'll give you one, and this would be the pomp and circumstance version for me. Army. With Monken now with a new 5-year deal, and what they're able to piece together. I'll give you Army out of lane 8 just as Cinderella. I'll give you Army as your Cinderella this year. How about that?
I like it.
That's a bold one there.
Well, but that's why I asked the question. I said, give me somebody out of lane 8. Give me somebody that Give me Billy Mills, give me Dave Waddle, give me one of those guys, and that's your
Give me Oklahoma State.
there you go.
Yeah.
The winnability of their conference and the fact that they just had a huge
Yes,
they just had a lot of talent come
the
in.
University of North Texas North. Why don't you just go ahead and call it?
Yeah, I mean it's the mean orange.
There. Oh, see,
He's not wrong.
that's
I mean
good.
they completely the cupboard is beyond bare. Like they took the mat up off the bottom of the countertops. They stripped that place.
Wow, the mean.
I drove up 35 and like the stadium was on blocks.
the hood was up. It's on blocks, and
Seriously.
it's been spray painted across the side door.
It was like the last time I drove a satellite truck through New York City. As soon as I got by the sign that said "Welcome to New York," I'm not sure what kind of car it was, but there was an SUV frame. It could have been a Blazer. I don't know.
Wow, I actually, I like your idea of the North Texas North. I do like that. That's good.
Yeah, that's a strong choice. Very strong choice. I really can't think of somebody that would come out of left field like that other than what Marty just mentioned with Oklahoma State.
Dibs.
Yeah, yeah, you get dibs on that one. That's a good call. Pistons firing.
I mean, you're down there closer to this, but is Georgia Tech enough? Do they have enough to make a run?
Not without Haynes King.
True.
Baby Mendoza should be solid at quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know that he's the guy that's going to take them over that hump.
Yep.
But I could also see a world where they actually, because there's not anybody else other than maybe Miami to compete with them, I could see where they're playing in the ACC championship game.
And yes, we're talking about the ACC. Oh, yes, can't you see? Not Fernando. Absolutely true. See, Sly got the ABBA joke.
Yeah.
I don't see a Clemson or anybody else really jumping off the page in the ACC, so that wouldn't surprise me if Tech makes it to the championship game.
The ACC right now is literally the undercover cop car or the brown paper bag of college football.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like Brent Key. I think he's
absolutely
an excellent coach, and he's done wonders for that program just in the couple years he's been there.
Yeah. And that's what makes it a winnable conference for someone that can just piece it together. And because of status, if you piece it together, you get into the ACC CG and you work your way through. Hopefully, I think they fixed the rules to where you can't have what you had with Duke a couple of years ago. I think they fixed that tiebreaker. But, I mean, look, you piece it together, you've got a good year, you win the key matches that are, pun unintended, but you win those key games and you have that opportunity to get in and make some noise.
And then you lose to a Pac-12 team.
Rim shot.
We hadn't mentioned them, so we got to throw them a bone.
True.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what USC does this year, too. They're due to bounce back. That's too good of a program to just sit there and kind of drown in its own vomit.
Oh, but they're doing a fine job.
Yes. So I'll be curious to see what they do this year. Guys, I'm going to have to wind it down here and wrap up because we have to make our way back to beautiful Smyrna, Georgia here.
Okay. All right. So then we're going to break and you're going away, and then we'll put a bow on it when we come back. How about that?
That sounds like a good plan.
Over here in the OSG sports side of things, we talk football. FOOTBALL. College football version here with the College Football Review every single week. But for those of you that like not just football with two O's, but football with a U, FUTBOL, there's the Soccer Down Here Network. I'm John Nelson. I host the morning show on Soccer Down Here along with Jarrett Smith, Nick Alifi, Jason Longshore. And if you're looking for the best information when it comes to the world of soccer, based in the southeastern United States, but we don't leave anything off the table. 9:05 Eastern time until 11 whenever. Sometimes we go for a while. SDH Network morning show, soccer's morning show, Monday through Friday, plus all the live events we do. It is your place and your source for soccer that is based in the Southeast, but covers everything on the world. SoccerDownHere.net, the Soccer Down Here app, available iOS and Android through our friends at Spreaker. That's like speaker with an R in the middle. Spreaker, do a search for OSG Sports, do a search for Soccer Down Here. All the soccer content all in one place. It is the SDH Network and Soccer Down Here. Welcome back to the review. Phil finally figured out how to hang up his damn phone. And so now it's the B block with me, Marty, and Sly, and we're going to go over the odds and ends as we get ready 1 week closer to college football season mattering and wins and losses and all that kind of stuff. We got into the Pac-12 a little bit. They don't quite have 12, but they are the Pac, and the Pac is back. So it is in its current form. Boise, Colorado State, Fresno, and you've got for other sports purposes, you do have a Gonzaga, which I found rather interesting. Gonzaga's football team, I was really looking forward to seeing what it was going to look like. Could Mark Few navigate the college football season at Gonzaga? I was really looking forward to that. But you end up with a handful of schools that are now a part of this lovely process, and you wonder what it's going to look like. And Pac-12 After Dark is there, and you have your handful of folks. Jim Mora is your coach in Colorado State now. He's there. And Texas State has wandered into the discussion now. And we know what it was like in San Marcos, in various and sundry other places. Colorado State, Utah State, Fresno, Washington State, Texas Tech, and as they're a part of this discussion now too. So when it comes to the Big 12, Sly, and you look at this new version of them as they are now, they're back, and you see the new Pac-12. What are you looking for? What are you looking at when it comes to this conference as it has resurrected itself and survived only being the Tupac last year?
I think they have a chance to really market themselves in a way that other conferences don't, because they're sort of starting from scratch. They've got these. I think they really have a chance to make it fun. The Colorado State, Boise, these are places where, from a marketing standpoint, from however they want to do this, that the Pac-12 can really put a different sort of stamp on what they look like versus the other conferences, because they have the ability to do it without any of the old traditions.
Yeah. They kind of got a unique ability to own a time slot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're playing later. There's maybe one big game, but it's not a network that you're on. So you could, if you market it right, you could really get something going. Like the MAC, half the reason we talk about it is because they changed up their schedule to fill a niche and fill up a time slot. And then, it's the only game in town when they play those oddball games like that. And we watch it.
Yeah.
You're looking at a 4-game non-conference schedule, 7-game round robin, league play over 8 weeks, 1 bye, home and home flex matchup among the league's 8 football members, concluding in week 13, which is Thanksgiving weekend, which is considered a non-conference matchup for standings. So Boise, Utah, Texas State, Colorado State, San Diego, Fresno, Oregon State, Washington State. Man, I wanted Gonzaga to play football so badly in this. But
just for the helmet.
Oh, it'd be great. But then you would have a Gonzaga playing Fresno State, and you'd have like the big bulldog head against just the full bulldog. And so those matchups would be out of control. New media partnerships.
Have Mike Vick do the coin toss.
Oh, that'd be awesome. CBS, USA, CW, new Pac-12 football title game is going to feature on CBS and Paramount Plus as a part of their new matchups. That's going to be Friday, December the 4th. So 3 networks Pac-12 is going to see 100% of its minimum football slate featured on linear television, national broadcast television, wide reach cable. So looking at, then this was the numbers that they put out. Fourth best overall winning percentage for any league behind the SEC, the Big Ten, and the Big 12. Fifth best average FPI at 78. Fifth best analytics team success average rating and ranking. One of only 5 conferences that have seen more than half their football membership ranked at some point in the AP Top 25 over the last 5 years. And one of only 5 conferences to have seen more than half of their football membership at some point ranked in the top 25 in the last 5 years. So Pac-12, 75% of their collective future membership, 6 of 8, reaching bowl eligibility and participating in the postseason in 2025. Highest percentage of any membership for any conference last season. But, of course, when there is 8 and you have 6 make it, yes, of course, your percentage is going to be very, very high. So, but, to your point, I mean, Sly, I think that you're looking at something that you could sit there and you hang your hat on. You lean into After Dark. You lean into all of these members. You lean into the overs. And you just try to sit there and almost turn it into arena football scores. And I think because you've got to find a way to be interesting out of the blocks. And I think that there's a rare opportunity here for a conference that has come from the ashes to try and have some fun in all this, like Marty said.
Yeah, remember Big Monday in the 80s in college basketball, the Big East, Big Ten,
absolutely,
and the West Coast game. I mean, I totally agreed with that time slot, and some good programs have the ability to make it a real entertaining watch for people who have been drinking all day and who really are hip to the fact that this is a good product out of the blocks.
And I really am, but I like the idea of the flex game, and that's, I mean, literally. You have an entire conference that has dove in, a flex game. I literally have never heard of a flex game being mentioned in any kind of scheduling ever. And the fact that they're going to have this flex game idea, like I said, once again, how do you make yourself marketable out of the blocks when there was only 2 of you the year before and everybody else has now, crossed their way into this? You're finding these little ideas. And yes, because there's only 8 of you, you can kind of do this and figure it out. But that flex idea, that's you're seeing some things here that we haven't seen because you have 16 and 18 team conferences and there's no wiggle room right now in this 8-team sweet spot. Marty, it's you get to have these kind of wild card ideas.
I like it. I mean, if you're an alumni and you want to go to a game, it might make planning your travel for the year a little difficult, but the fact that you can make sure that it's, as far as the look on television goes, you can make sure you're obviously going to take a stadium that's going to fill up more and make a little bit more money. So that, that makes sense financially. Plus, visually watching that game, seeing a fuller stadium, you're obviously going to take a team that's going to fill it. I'm interested to see how it plays out and if they do it right. Because, I mean, like we've seen with college football and a lot of other sports, there's great ideas, but then there's the implementation of the ideas, and that's usually where problems start coming up.
Yes, because then you have too many people who want to implement their own idea instead of the overarching idea of the success of the collective. All right, so since Marty has discussed Ohio State, and I have discussed, and for me it's DISGUST, Florida State, where Marty has talked about it. Sly, in the interest of equal time, expectations this year with what you're seeing from Illinois.
This is a strange year for them. They turned over half the roster and coaching staff. They're implementing a brand new defense that the Bobby Hauck used at Montana and what Iowa State's been using the past several years. They are, for a historically bad program to have a reset year where they have a real chance to make a bowl game, I think that's a realistic expectation. They've got good coaching, and we don't know exactly. It's a strange year because they're better the farther away they get from the line of scrimmage, and so which is a really dangerous way to construct a roster. But their secondary should be really good. Their skill players are good. The quarterback they brought in, Caden Hauser, should be good, but the lines are the question mark. So that if that doesn't work, then it could get disastrous real fast. But I think this coaching staff should be afforded the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that they know what they're doing at this point. We'll see how it plays out. 7-5 would seem like a sort of a number that would make sense here.
Pure Bowl. I got you. Last question that I've got for this week. Start with you, Marty. What program is going to slip on the banana peel, step on the rake? Who's going to have the hood go up, the engine fall out, the axle split from all of the teams that we always talk about, top 25-ish? Who's gonna be that team this year that just can't get out of its own way and schlep rocks their way into a substandard season by their own fans' thoughts and ideas?
Well, for me, it's the same answer was last year and the year before. Notre Dame. They always seem to just, this is our year, we're stacked, and then they just choke.
And here
They'll be good in the regular season. All of a sudden, they might wait to the first round of the playoffs, but it's going to happen to them. And I'm going to keep thinking it's going to happen to them until they stop doing it every.
And here I thought he was going to say T-Sun. I thought he was going to go that direction, but that was probably too easy.
You got to have expectations before you can not meet them.
Yes. And the school up north, the acronym that we use there when it comes to T-Sun and what Marty thinks. All right, so Sly, who's going to step on a banana peel this year and cause consternation amongst their fan base and laughter with all the others?
Yeah, I would love to say it's Michigan myself, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm going to go with Texas Tech.
Okay.
Based on what we talked about last week with the debacle with Brendan Sorsby, and that they're not going to get any love from the officials or anyone else in that league, and things could fall apart there as a result.
Yeah, and
insert betting joke here.
Oh yes, it is definitely a Sorsby spot for everything going on. And see, I didn't wait because I was waiting.
Almost had water come out my nose.
I see, that would have been good. So once again, 1 week closer to everything going on in college football and having it matter for real, with a bunch of games that are not going to be in home locations. Folks are chasing after paychecks and all those kinds of things. 1 week closer. Marty, we've got another week to kind of sit and watch what's going on. What are you going to be looking at in the next 6 days before we reconvene and discuss things as we get 1 week closer?
Pretty much the only thing you can look at right now is injury reports.
Mm-hmm.
You have I'm also going to check out some of the lower divisions, like, what's Youngstown State going to do this year? They got some good transfers.
Mm-hmm.
One I'm related to.
Oh. See, now he's chasing after. See, now we get Penguin crime, and then this way, and in the midweek, we're obviously going to have the return of the College Football X with Wilkie and me, and whoever else wants to wander by, and we'll look at all of the places in the fringes and all the cool storylines there. And yes, I was not kidding. With West Florida moving up to FBS in Division I, we are going to catch up with our friend Caleb Nobles, the head coach there for the Argonauts, and find out what it's going to be like for them in the UAC this year. They didn't wait. They were like, ish, we better do it now, or we're not going to be able to do it. And they've done it on the hop. So they've come up from Division II, and they're in the UAC, and it's going to be interesting to see how it devolves this year. It evolves this year with the Argos. They hope it doesn't devolve. Sly, what are you looking at in the next 7 days?
I agree with Marty on the injury reports, and then to see which teams look like they're going to have chaotic roller coaster type seasons, and those which are going to just be steady, because the roller coaster type teams usually collapse at the end under all the emotional weight of that. So
no doubt,
that's right.
Yeah, and we will reconvene in 7 days' time or 6 days' time. However, depending on how many days you between the time that Sunday happens when we tape and when you watch this or partake in whatever form it is. So we think Phil has figured out his off button in Nashville. So because he is not here in the B block, but he'll be back with us next week. J-Dub, who when he does come in, we do have to ask our resident college football player what he thinks about all of these new rules in the landscape. We need to get his thoughts on what he thinks about all the rules of engagement these days. So, yes, if you can look up Wake Forest University offensive lineman and John Wood, that's what he looked like when he was in college. He was 3 spins, and he was one of the mean demon deacons. which seems like a bit of an oxymoron. I don't know if Wake Forest was ever mean when they were on the football field, except for when they had the bowl bid when he was there. But yes, we will reconvene in 7 days' time, and we'll let you know what else is going on as we get that much closer to what's going on in college football. Phil should be here if he can figure out how to get from Nashville back to his house. Marty and Sly will be back here as well, and I will be once again. You'll see the steam coming out of my ears just because of the general malaise that is going on in Tallahassee, Florida, and the frustration therein with our college football program. So it's another go-round of the review here on the OSG Sports Network. And for Sly, for Marty, for Phil, for J-Dub, for all of us, I'm just John. Play it safe, everybody. We'll catch up with you next time as we get that much closer to college football here on the OSG Sports Network and the review. Marty, send us home.
Please like and subscribe.